everybody, and welcome to the show. It is Comics News today for the 21st of October, Monday, of course. This is our California show. People asked me the other day, Chester, why do you call it a California show? Well, because it's an hour later, so the people in California can come and join us. That's why. hmm And because there's no other reason I call it California show, because we all know how I feel about California. But nevertheless, guys, thank you for being here. Definitely do us a favor and check out our links down below, particularly going over there to Fanspeak on Facebook. We're having a lot of fun there. There's some really good information, and definitely be part of that community. Other than that, we'd really appreciate you guys if you'd hit that share button and let your family and friends and extended community know what's going on so they can come here and join us live, because we are live streamers. That's what we do. We are not YouTuber uploaders. We are live streamers, and here on Fanspeak, and yeah, we're having a lot of fun. And thank you guys for being part of it. Now, today, of course, we're going to cover a whole bunch of interesting news. Some of it's pretty fun, actually. So thank you for joining us with that. And do keep in mind, we'd love to hear your comments and opinions as we go along here. And of course, as always, if you hit that Twitter down below and talk to me, I will put you on the show because we'd love to hear you here on Fanspeak. But nevertheless, let me go over here and talk to my panelists as usual. Hello, George. How you doing?
Greetings. I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. In fact, I've been thinking about what you said about this being the California show.
Mm.
I think the reason why this is the California show is because we raise in some conversation about comic books.
Um, that was a California raisin joke, folks. Just so if you aren't 50 years old, you probably wouldn't have got that. But the rest of us who are old enough to get that are really regretful that we did. The world I live in. But nevertheless, thank you, George, for being here. And of course, guys, we also have joining us the most Denali of llamas. Hello, sir.
Hello. I'm just llamaing around. Gotta throw that out there.
Sure.
But yeah, it's raining. The tropical storm is away, but it's still lingering like I don't know. I'll stop there before I embarrass myself and others.
All right. All right. Well,
But
it is what it is. It's the season. We're coming
yeah,
toward the end of it, though. We've had a couple of extra little typhoons coming through here right now, but they're not so bad. It's the end
yeah,
of the year. The water's getting cooler. So, it's just part of it. A part of living in
yeah.
that thing. The interesting thing, though, the way that these kind of, the cyclonic type of weather moves, it always goes the same direction, right? It always heads to the left. It always goes to the left. So there's plenty of places on the world that never have to experience it. Isn't that great for them? Which makes us wonder, Denali, why do we live in places that these things come? We're kind of stupid.
Because we're just used to it, I guess. I mean, every place has its own danger. I mean, go to the Midwest, you got tornadoes. You go to the West Coast, you have earthquakes and volcanoes. I mean, you pick your,
Pick your
you
poison,
know,
huh? I get it.
yeah.
We have Ara has come in here. Well, this says greetings all. Well, greeting to you. Nice to have you in here. And we're getting a little bit of a trickle of people. I wonder if our notifications aren't working today. So definitely the few guys are in here, including my host, co-host over here. Definitely share it out, guys. It looks like the notifications aren't popping. So please do that. But that's kind of par for the course. It seems that YouTube likes to line up who's most important. So if you're not important at all, which we're not, then we get put on the bottom of the bottom of the list, Denali. How do you feel about being a D-lister?
You know, at least I can say delicious all the time.
Is that what I'm going to have all day? You and George with the damn dad jokes? Is that it? You're not even a dad. You don't even
Oh,
have a license for it. Damn.
I'm driving without a license.
True.
you're dadding without a license.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, actually, speaking of cars, before we jump over the news, just give some people a few minutes to get in here. You guys know I'm in the process of trying to get a new car. I'm probably going to go with a Honda Civic, I think. But what do you drive, Denelli?
I am currently driving a Kia Soul.
A Kia Soul. Now, how is that? Now, that's an economic car, I think.
Yeah,
It's good on gas mileage.
right.
How does that work for you?
It works fine. Gets me where I need to go,
Well,
which is why I bought it. Yeah.
That's more of a town car. How does it do on distant drives?
Distance drive because I got the Echo version. It
Oh,
does like about 35 on the highway.
well, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, George? What are you driving?
I drive my family crazy.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, other than that, when and us as well, George. Do you do you actually drive a vehicle?
Only Mario Kart. That's us. Oh, real world go kart.
Okay, so George doesn't own a car. Do you have a license?
A license to
So he doesn't
steal.
have a license either. That's a strange thing. But I guess it depends on where you live. I've lived in a couple cities in my life, and you don't really need a car in the city. So maybe George is a city guy up there in the boondocks of Canada.
Well, Canada's nice. The weather's okay. And speaking about the weather, when you said everything's going to the left, I have a conspiracy theory.
Hmm.
The reason why the weather is going to the left is one of two reasons.
Hmm. Hmm.
One is because of the Earth's rotation,
Hmm.
and two, because the weather is actually targeting leftists.
Is that it? Is it? Are we going back to the that old statement that I heard so many years ago that the typhoons and hurricanes are created by the homosexuals? Is that what it is?
You said it, Chester.
That is the most
I would,
insane thing I've ever heard in my life. I
I
mean,
would not, I would not tread on such silliness.
it is
Yeah.
silly, dude. What the hell? Are you gonna? I mean, come on now. But that was literally said by actual people. Another thing I thought was it was extremely sad, but just odd. Same type of oddness is when the that big old earthquake and tsunami hit here in Japan so many years ago, and just 20,000 dead. It was devastating. There were a lot of people that claimed to be Christians that were up there praising and say that is God's judgment. Really? Really? You know,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
why they were claiming, not that they were.
yeah. Now, well, it just
Yeah.
seems rather unchristian to me, to be honest with you. But
Well,
whatever.
you know.
Insanity, George. It's insanity. But nevertheless, guys, we've got some interesting news to get into, so we're going to
Hmm.
jump over and do that now. And I was going to start out with a trailer, but I'd rather wait and see if we get more people in here and watch it together. So I'm going to hold off on that. And let me come here and share so everybody can in the panel can see. And let's see here now. So I'm not going to
All
start with
right.
this. I'll come back to this later. But we do have a
Yeah.
Bloodshot trailer to look at. Ooh, it's going to be awesome. But the first one here, I think, is just apropos, Denali.
From CVR, and Booster is the one who posted this. Our Kiwi bird who's still asleep. Watchmen showrunner believes Alan Moore has placed a curse on him.
Yeah, yeah. It's awesome. And of course, Alan Moore, as we know, is very capable of this because he's a wizard. If you didn't know that, you can go do a little bit of research and you'll find that he really believes he's a wizard. Over there in Britain. I guess he's the original Harry Potter. I'm looking for it. Do you see it? Can we look squint a little bit? Can we see the lightning bolt? Maybe, maybe. I think he's make upped it over. But freaking Alan Moore, he's awesome. We love you,
I
dude.
thought I thought it was Dumbledore, but go ahead.
Maybe, but I have to read it just because this is hilarious. HBO's
All right.
adaptation of Watchmen has garnered its fair share of controversy, not least of all for the ongoing decades-long feud between original writer Alan Moore and Warner Brothers, parent company of DC Comics, over the rights to the characters and series. Showrunner and creator Damon Lindelof has now revealed that he fears Moore, who is an outspoken practitioner of ritual magic. He has cursed me. In an interview with Vulture, Lindelof said, uh, in all sincerity, I was absolutely convinced that there was a magical curse upon me by Alan. I'm actually feeling the psychological effects of a curse, and I'm okay with it. It's fair that he has placed a curse on me. The basics for this, my twisted logic, was that I heard that he had placed a curse on Zack Schneider's movie. There is some fundamental degree of hubris and narcissism in saying he even took the time to curse me, but I became increasingly convinced that it had, in fact, happened. So I was like, well, at least I'm completely and totally miserable the entire time. I should be. Okay. So he's being sarcastic, I guess.
I don't know. I mean, that
uh,
voice, the voice that you put on for Mr. Lindelof was crab people, park people.
I have no
Anyways,
idea what you're talking about. But I
South
just
Park.
love.
It's a South Park reference.
I
Yeah.
see. So okay, but this is just Alan Moore is just a beautifully eccentric spaceball guy who's pretty good at what he does. But I just couldn't resist that article. It's too funny. The curses are being thrown around uh, by him. That's awesome. All right, let's go to
Well,
the.
You know,
I mean, he probably honestly believe it because, as we kind of mentioned, and you mentioned, a lot of time they do ritualistic practice in Hollywood and
They
has
do.
those secret societies. So I wouldn't be surprised if he actually believes that
That
Alan
is a fair
Moore
point.
did put a curse.
Yeah, no, they
So
do a
well,
lot. They do a lot of that stuff. They are
the
believers. That's true.
the only curse that Alan Moore has ever done regarding Watchmen is he clearly said Watchmen should not be translated into any other medium. It's the comic. It's the comic book. That's it.
Uh-huh. Well, we keep always coming back to it. It is a fun book and stuff, but it's not all that, But it's all right. But moving on to some actual news. Go ahead, Denelli.
all right. So this is from the Vanity Fair. They're talking about the Joker set to break box office records as it climbs closer to the $1 billion club. Um, I mean, we're not sure if it's going to make it, but it's getting close to Deadpool and overtaking Deadpool, which was the high grossing rated R movie
Hmm.
at this time, and it has been beating out Ann Lee's Gemini Man, which is the Will Smith flop. Because first of all, I guess they didn't have the right setup for that movie, but second of all, the story itself wasn't any good. But then
Yeah.
again, if you watch the Incredible Hulk, you can imagine that you can only imagine.
Well, it's not a big surprise. I mean, really, the Joker seems
Mhm.
to be a very solid movie to even being a great movie, depending on who you ask. But I mean, the worst case I've heard from people is it's good, right? I mean, that's the worst I've heard. So,
Right.
it's a solid flick, and Gemini Man is sounds like it's really not. The CG is not as good as they were claiming. Because do keep in mind, they were pushing this film, which we covered here. They were pushing Gemini Man as being a Avatar level of CGI transformation, meaning that it was going to change the industry, the level of CGI they were putting out. That's what they were saying. They were saying that themselves, not other people. They were. And of course, it turned out not only to not be true, it's actually many points in the CGI which are very shoddy. So, very, very bad thing to say right there. If they hadn't said anything, it would have been better. But it also sounds like the story's not very good. It's just not a great movie. So, obviously, that this movie, which has got a lot of attention and is a good flick, is going to overwhelm something that's not a good flick. It's not. It's kind of like it's not brain science, right, George?
Absolutely, absolutely. And the movie itself, um, Gemini Man, it's it doesn't sound like there's a lot of story to it at all,
Yeah.
and 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 that's a key ingredient for something to make it into the common unconsciousness of the audience.
Hmm.
You got to have a good story,
Yeah, it's true.
and Will Smith, whoopie doo. I mean, the guy is a washout.
No, he's
Look
not.
at what.
Nonsense, George. He,
Are you sure?
no, he's certainly been having a rough time over the past 5, 6 years, I'd say, but maybe a little longer. But I mean, I really hope that Will comes out with a big
Isn't
old
that the
hit.
definition of a washout?
Well, no, because you're saying there's no potential for him to come back, and I think there is. I mean, Will Smith can make great movies, and hopefully he will do so again. The past few movies he's done haven't been great. I mean, one of them was straight up nepotism with his son. The other one was not completely his fault because Suicide Squad, he was actually one of the better parts of it. and but the overall movie was not good. And then of course this current one is just once again, I just want to see because I like Will Smith. I know there's a lot of
Wild Wild
controversy
West.
around him. Yeah, well, I
Wild
liked
Wild
that
Wild
though. I
West.
liked Wild Wild West. I was a fan of it actually. Uh,
I'm a big fan of the original Wild Wild West.
well, me too. I mean, sure, that is true, but anyway, I just I hope Will comes out with a smash hit here sooner than later,
Mhm.
because I do enjoy him. Let's see. Ara says, "I haven't been cursed yet. Am I not trying hard enough?" Well, I think so, sir. I think so. You should do your best so that you can get cursed as well. Uh, and Denali, go ahead and read what you said to him. It's funny.
Oh, I said if you look in the mirror and repeat 3 times, Alan Moore, Alan
Alan
Moore,
Moore,
Alan
Alan
Moore,
Moore.
you'll get a call from Alan Moore telling you, knock it off.
That's right. That's right. His magic mirror is on at all times. Do keep that in mind. But
Yeah.
it's too bad about Gemini Man because Ang Lee. I get your point about Hulk, George, but he's done some fun stuff too. So hopefully they'll rebound. But Joker, it's doing well because it's a good flick. That's why.
I,
Moving
I,
on
I
here.
think Henry should stick with Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon quality work,
Hmm.
not and knock it off with all these superhero movies. He doesn't have the skill set for it.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. But what is this here, Denali?
Right. So this is from the Hollywood Reporter. Basically, Leto was fuming, angry about learning that they were making a solo Joker film without him.
Yeah.
He basically kicked a big fuss. He told his agents. He talked to the one of the presidents of the Warner Brother to shut down the Todd Phillips movie because he was promised when he came on board that they were going to give him a solo Joker film. That was one of the things promised,
Now we
and he eventually kind of go ahead.
No, I'm just going to say we've kind of covered this before with Jared Leto, but he really seems to be
Mhm.
upset, dude. And it's like, you're not guaranteed anything, Leto, and you're just not. And the simple fact of the matter is, no one liked your Joker. Now, you had an idea, you gave it a shot. Rock on. It wasn't like he's a horrible actor. He just had his vision of Joker and he put it forward, and no one liked it. That's all right you know. But he needs to get over this, man. He really does.
All right. So he did try to shut it down before it came off the ground. And part of interesting is that the studio wasn't even didn't believe in the movie,
Hmm.
The Joker, and they actually paid only half. It's actually co-financed with two other individuals to
Yeah,
make up the difference of the movie.
yeah,
So it kind of showed, oh, if it doesn't do well, then we'll go with Lato back and say, hey, we just did this as a favor, you know how things are, blah, blah, blah. But now they kind of see, oh, we're getting closer to $1 billion
right. So
thanks to the
he's
free press,
he's
thanks
getting
to the
yeah,
free press. And everybody loves Joaquin Phoenix take of the Joker. So that means ching ching, and we're telling Todd Phillip to go make another one. It's in your heart, and a couple
mhm.
100,000 or a couple $100 million in your account
Well,
that you can find it.
yeah, well, we were talking about this the other day, and do keep in mind, guys, that this article is just simply expounding upon the last time we talked about it. Last time we talked about it, Jared Leto was simply upset about it. Now, this is telling us that he actively tried to stop it, so that's why they were seeing it again. But we had a
Yeah,
conversation here the other day, talking about who our favorite and most memorable Jokers were, right? And he didn't come up at all, right? Because it
right.
wasn't good. It's not even Joker. It's some gangland boss or something.
I
But
completely forgot about it. I forgot for his
yeah,
performance. You had to remind me about it.
yeah, no, exactly, yeah. But because there are some great portrayals, and I even made the statement that maybe the Joker is one of these roles that allows an actor to really show their chops and make their name. with that type of thing. We were talking about the Lex Luthor movie, and is there any kind of potential for that there? But yeah, Leto needs to get over this. He needs to just chill out, dude. It's okay. You don't have to be Mr. Famous for everything. It's all right, dude. It's all right. Take a chill pill. You'll be all right. But anyway, we're starting to get a few more people in here, so I don't know what's up. Maybe the notifications were late. But we got Eric in here. He says, "Hello. Just watched the first 15 minutes of HBO's Watchmen. Want to scratch my eyes out." Well, dude, I could have told you that. Go watch Batwoman now. You'll be good.
Mhm,
Moving
mhm.
on here. Wow, another big name adding to the list of hating on Marvel. Go ahead, dude.
Yeah, Francis Ford Coppola is calling Marvel movie despicable. He said that when Martin Scorsese said wasn't cinema, he was being nice. So he'll go ahead and say that the movie are despicable and they don't really add anything to the cinema experience, uh, unlike to their own efforts back in the 70s
Mhm.
and 80s and all that
Sure.
stuff.
Well, we're seeing more and more of
Oh,
these supposed great filmmakers, George. But
guys.
well, hold on a second. I have a question for you, George. Actually,
Yeah.
do you think this is simply sour grapes, or is there agenda here?
It's sour grapes, and their agenda is because they can't make superhero movies. They're incapable. It's not their skill set, and they're not getting any work. And that's what the market is. But here's the crazy thing about this whole thing. Since 1940, we had Superman, a cartoon series. We had Superman the radio series. We had Superman the TV series. We had Superman movie series. We had Wonder Woman. We had Spider-Man, Shazam, Manimal, Spirit, Batman, $6 Million Man universe. Okay, and this is before the Michael Keaton movies.
Yeah.
We had a superhero world that we all enjoyed in the movies and on TV long before these douchebags started hating on it,
Hmm.
and it
Hmm.
didn't change their box office. The Godfather came out, Taxi came out. It wasn't a big deal. It's a big deal now because this is all that the audience wants.
Hmm.
They want the superhero world. They want the
Yeah.
world, the comic books that we grew up in, to be realized on screen.
Yeah.
And money after money, it's coming in, and it's a proven, um, it's a quantifiable effort.
Hmm.
And
Well,
these guys, I don't know what to tell you. They just hate it. They're not getting any work.
they are. That's true. And Ara, of course, mentions how about Godfather Part Three? Oof, yeah, that wasn't a
Oh
great one.
yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
And let me play devil's advocate for a moment, though. There have been some calls over the past decade, of course, the Marvel run, that Marvel has the Marvel Studios has changed the landscape of cinema itself and made it so that only these AAA super fun rides that are Marvel movies can make money in the cinema, and all real movies, that's major air quotes though, all real movies can't make money in cinema anymore. Now I think even though there might be some sour grapes in that comment, I think there's truth to that comment, though.
No, there's no truth. Come on. We
Really?
The
had Superman the movie. We had Batman, the Michael Keaton Batman franchise.
I'm not
Uh,
talking
uh,
about the past, because in the past, George, at the same time those movies are coming out, other movies were also making money, right?
here
But
so
today
here
they're not,
here here,
right?
here's my retort, and I'll point it in this case. The current Joker is a small budget character study.
It
Yes, it has
is.
a superhero, but it's a fairly good movie, or else it wouldn't be making as much money. The problem is with current climate of screenwriting, they don't know what to write, and they come out like crap. And that's the problem. There's nothing that is exciting cinema goers to go to the movie and pay the $20 to go see a movie because the story aren't up to par
Mhm.
when the television writing, you know, for the most part, it's almost at the exact same level, but you're paying a significantly reduced price for it.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
my God. Oh my God. Dinelli said something profound I like to expand on.
mhm,
Hollywood and the leftist douchebags have created a world of chaos in that you can literally, you don't have to write fiction. I mean, it's already happening. The fiction is a reality with Hollywood propaganda to such a point. People don't want to go see a Martin Scorsese movie that is like Taxi Driver or The Godfather because
Or
we're
the
looking at it
priest.
every day in the news.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so, what is the best thing for us? To go out and watch superhero stuff, fantasy stuff, stuff
Mhm.
that will take you out of the news cycle of every day. And these douchebags, I'm going to use it as often as I can. These douchebags created this world of stress and drama and racism and all that stuff. And this is the only thing this guy can write and produce. And no one wants to see that crap. No one wants to see that stuff in the news, and no one wants to go to the theaters and watch his stuff. So Hollywood created the very thing that is making him unemployable.
Maybe.
Wow.
But I would also add to that, George, that and I'm curious that this might be a factor because you talk about your $20 to go see a movie. But the thing is I remember when I was younger, you pay like $4. Matinee was cheaper. And of course, here we are, $20, which is what? Four times the amount,
Yeah,
basically,
yeah, but
five times.
that's just a
But
movie
yeah,
ticket.
but
You're
hold
not
on,
talking
George.
about the
Let me
food. You're not
finish.
talking about
Let
the
me finish my
travel.
point, George. Let me finish. Okay.
So I'm
So
excited. I'm excited.
George, please. All right.
Okay, go ahead.
We're five times that amount of money sitting here today, but yet people are not making five times the amount of money. Matter of fact, they're probably only making at best 50% of what we were getting paid back in the 80s. Right. So this is another matter of inflation. Everything has gone way out of joint when it costs the cost of paying for things, and therefore people aren't making as much money, and therefore if they're going to spend their money in a movie, they're going to be very discerning about it. Whereas in the past, hey, just go see a movie. Good or bad, it doesn't matter. It's only $4, right? I think that's a factor. You know what I mean? Go ahead,
I
George.
agree. I agree.
Okay.
That was easy. I agree.
All right. There you go. Interesting though, but another one of these guys piling on. Nice. Ooh, Denali.
Okay, this is from Todd Maroney using Showbiz Cheat Sheet, which is basically another Screen Rant kind of deal. But they're talking about Captain uh, Marvel, and they're talking about the Jessica Jones, that Jessica Jones would be going to the MCU because Jessica Jones are friends with Captain Marvel. Um, I mean, there's a lot of discussion because now Feige is controlling the TV portion of it. That once the 2 years uh, hold on those characters, I am sure he's going to be bringing those into the MCU. There's no way he's not going to do so.
Yeah. Yeah. Now,
Uh,
do keep in mind this article is complete speculation. There's no
mhm,
evidence, there's no rumor, there's nothing. This is just
right,
speculation on this is Alani Vargas's point, which is fine.
right,
It's just one of those kind of entertainment news pieces.
right.
Now, one of the things, because the headline doesn't mention it, but one of the things that's mentioned in the body of the article is talking about Daredevil as well, quite a bit. And here's the thing. I don't think you need Captain Marvel to bring them over. You could. I would love, and I think we'd all love to see Daredevil continued, and we might well see something like that on the Disney Plus. And to be fair, I've always kind of liked the Jessica Jones character. I don't care for the portrayal they did her in the Fox Netflix thing. or
Yes.
excuse me, the Netflix thing. I didn't care for that. It has nothing to do with the actress. It's just I thought she was poorly cast. The Purple Man was amazing. David Tennant kicked actual butt, but I didn't really care for her casting. And she doesn't sound like she's interested in doing any more either. Now, I would love for them to recast Jessica Jones into a better actress for it and bring her in. I would love it. And of course, Daredevil is would be stupid for them not to do it, to be honest. But if we go back to the Alias run with Jennifer Gardner, of course, that's Jessica Jones too. I thought she did Jennifer Gardner did a much better portrayal of Jessica Jones than this lady did. What do you think about that, Denali?
I think if it goes into the Disney Plus, it's not going to be the same tone and everything like the Netflix series. As your comment about uh, changing up the actors, I totally agree. I believe Christian Ritter, who was the actor, was really miscast because she had no charisma. I had no when I was seeing the first season, I was hooked in because of David Tennant, and it took
Yeah,
pulling away to realize, oh, I didn't really like Jessica Jones. I like David Tennant's portrayal as a
right.
Purple Man.
He was great.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
And when I watched the second one, it kind of solidified that, it's kind of the blink moments like, oh, what I really liked about wasn't what I liked about in the second season. So
yeah.
that was the thing about it.
No, it's a
But
fair
yeah,
point. Yeah. It's nothing against her, because I've
yeah,
seen her in things I really like, but it was just she was not the right choice for it. And of course, the costuming didn't help as well. She just didn't look right in that costume that they had her in. It didn't suit her body frame at all. It didn't suit the style we know from her. It just didn't work. Now you can say, well, a better actress would be able to pull it off. Well, maybe that's true. But I really want to stress that I'm not knocking on the actress herself because I do like her. She's not the right choice. So I would love to see him bring back Jessica Jones. I think she's a cool character.
right,
And of course, Daredevil is I would think an automatic. I just can't imagine that Feige would not try to find a way to work Daredevil into that. Not only with the guy doing Daredevil, who does a great job, but frickin' D'Onofrio as Kingpin. You can't cast a better person for it. There's no human alive that's going to do that character better right now. All I can say is he better be doing it, right?
right. Um, yeah, the only thing I'm kind of worried about is, if it goes to Disney Plus, that means that it's going to be a softer um, Daredevil. It's not going to be the same. It's going to be if it's the same actor, it won't be the same character. That's where I'm going at. So we,
Maybe, maybe. I get your point. I get the Disney effect. I get it. I get it.
yeah,
But we'll just have to wait and see, because they have a lot of things planned, and trust that the stuff they've showed us that they're working on is nowhere near the extent of it. Because Disney has been spending a lot of money and doing a lot of build up to this the launch of Disney Plus, which is coming next month, right? So
right.
they're very
They
serious
keep,
about it.
yeah, they keep pushing hard, but I don't hear any excitement. You know, in the
Well,
circle about getting Disney Plus,
we'll
and
see.
that's
We'll see. I think
Well,
Disney's
well,
taking it very seriously, though.
well, they are taking it seriously because what the strategy of Disney Plus is, they're crowdfunding the channel before they actually put something out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically it. They're looking to get as many subscribers before the first show airs.
Yeah,
And
no, it's
right now they'll say everything, including the kitchen sink, to get as many people signed on to it.
yeah, yeah, but that's pretty standard practice, though, George. And I understand it's your angsty take on things, but I don't think there's anything untoward there. That's pretty standard stuff. And I personally feel that Disney in the back rooms is feeling some real hard pinch from some of the mistakes they've made over the past 5, 6 years. And I think they're making a concerted effort to try to put a better foot forward. We can see this just with what's going on with J.J. Abrams and the Star Wars, because he came out very clearly and said, "Oh well, not everyone's going to like the new Star Wars," and Disney balked at that hardcore and said, "We'll go back and do it again and again and again until everyone loves it." Now
But
it's impossible, but that's what Disney's doing. They're really in the back rooms, they're starting to get really antsy about the what's going on, and you can see it.
right. And here's the thing that you have to think about it. The fact that they're redoing it, at this moment 6 times because, the 75% is rumored, or I don't know what it is, but there's a 7 cut being made. That's more money that they're pouring in. That's additional costs on
Oh
top of the
yeah,
principal photography, and these reshoots are more expensive than when they originally shot, meaning that the price of making this film has ballooned
oh
a
hugely,
lot.
yeah, it's true.
That that
Yeah,
means that they have to, just by estimates alone, just looking at Solo and looking at the previous movie, if this movie does not make more than $1.5 billion, conservative estimate, $1.5 billion, that means it's a flop. It's a flop because you have they overpaid for this
they did, but
movie.
I think what the way they're looking at it, Dinelli, is they're willing to take that hit to right the ship. I think is the way they're looking at it because
No,
do keep in mind that
no,
we
no,
we
no,
mentioned well
no,
no hold
no.
on we mentioned the other day that they're still in principal photography right now as we speak, even though the movie's supposed to come out in December, and we also know now that they actually went back and reshot 75% of what they'd already done in the can. So it's way over budget. Of course it is, but I think they're
Right.
willing to bite that because they really want to try to right this ship, dude.
Right. So what I'm saying is, if they don't break even in opening, if this is not a big opening, this is going to dictate the future of Star Wars, whether it'll continue on as a B or a C level property, where you're going to continue getting Star Wars, but only through Disney Plus
Hmm.
and sporadically, or if it's going to be actually moving forward and continuing the theaters.
Yeah,
So this is kind of like a do or die moment for Lucasfilm and Disney, because Disney's being counter doesn't care about the story, doesn't care about the property. They only care if it's going to make money. And if it's not going to make money, they don't care. They'll cut. You'll see a massive downsizing of Lucasfilm. They'll probably say Feige will be now controlling Lucasfilm and everything, and you'll see all that come up if this movie does not make more than $1.5 billion.
Yeah, I agree with that. That is uh, because they're paying um, Rush and Super Rush the turnaround time from every visual effects company in Hollywood. It's a huge number they have to overcome. But the thing to add to this, when Game of Thrones really screwed the pooch with season 8, what they didn't lose. Not only did they lose an audience, they lost the opportunity to sell a box set of Game of Thrones from season 1 to season 8. Now, no one wants to buy it because they
no,
know it ends in a crappy way. Why would
yeah,
you want to have that on your shelf?
yeah. And Steven, season 7 wasn't good either, and I could
Yeah,
argue that season 6 wasn't
exactly.
great.
And regarding Star Wars, why would you want to have 9 movies on your shelf?
You wouldn't.
It,
Yeah,
it's ridiculous,
yeah.
and there's
Well,
no way to write it. And also, there's no way to write this ship. Well, first of all, it's not a trilogy.
that's
Second of all, there's no hero's journey. Third, there's absolutely no character in these 3 movies, or when the third one comes out, that the audience is going to care for because the toy sales already prove this.
Yeah, well, that might be true, George, but that doesn't mean they're not going to try. But I do think we've seen this is a more of a long-term thing that's happened before even Disney bought Star Wars. To be honest with you, because we have one movie, The Last Jedi, that has literally crippled it. I mean, because the Force Awakens wasn't a super great movie, but it was fine. It was watchable, and it had a lot of nostalgia in it. But and Rogue One was pretty good actually. But the thing that I think has hurt them is we had the original Star Wars, the 3 movies, and everyone loved them. And then the prequels came out, and they weren't great. at all. Some people were okay with it. Some people it was their childhood. Other people hated it, right? And then we came into this new trilogy of movies, and it's just disappointing people. And then the Ryan Johnson debacle. I think it was something that had been building up for a while, and people are just like, that's enough, right? So it doesn't matter whether they can right the ship or not. They're going to try, and I think that has something to do with it. But anyway, let's move on to let's go on here. And yes, George took Chester's trigger pills tonight. He did, but that's okay. Now this is an interesting article. Go ahead, Dinelli.
All right, so this is from the Hollywood Reporter. Netflix raising $2 billion in debt amidst original content push. So basically, they took out a loan of $2 billion
Hmm.
for acquisition and more original contents. They know that if they don't have these premiere exclusive that can only be found on their streaming platform, they're not going to get that subscriber base that they need to continue operation. So they're investing to they're hoping with this investment of $2 billion that they're able to get those properties and those work to bring in. My concern is being Netflix, they're going to be continue bringing out not so good products. But again, I'm no longer a subscriber, so it doesn't really bug me one way or the other.
Mm. Well, before I get into response to that and George as well, what is John Dillard going on about over here, Dinelli? He's
I don't
always
know.
going on about something. But
Mhm.
anyway, it's interesting article talking about the practices, the business practices of Netflix. But we've been talking about this for the past year. We've been doing this, and I've of course been paying attention to it longer than that. But it seems to me that the business model of Netflix is to always be riding that edge, dude. They're
Mhm.
always kind of pushing their overall profit margin by staying in a constant state of debt to just be on top of it and compete with Amazon and Disney Plus, which is coming, etc. So it's not really new to me to see this article because they keep doing this. And I'm just wondering if in the long run, this is going to pay off for them or is it going to bite them in the ass, you know?
To answer
It's
that
not going to work.
question,
Sorry,
go
go
ahead,
ahead.
George.
It's not going to work. Netflix doesn't have a secondary market like Disney and Amazon. Amazon secondary market or primary market is the store, which will always brings in money, and they can always overspend on whatever they want. Disney is the same thing. They have so much licensing power behind them. They have so much money coming in. They can spend whatever they want to make stuff happen. Netflix doesn't have that. All they have is the audience that they have subscriptions on,
Hmm.
and that's a finite number.
Well, but it is a big number, and eventually you would think that they would be able to tighten their strings up and make some profit because there's a lot of profit there. But no, what do you think, Danelli?
No, I think the same thing. They're spending money, they're losing subscribers, their annual um, report to their shareholders, they actually didn't meet the target
Yeah,
uh, uh, goal for their subscriber base. So they're actually behind things, which is dropped their stock market for that quarter as well.
mhm,
So, it could be easily, you know, like if you're thinking about it, we're going to have Sony, we have Disney, we have CBS, we have NBC, we have Fox, we have HBO Max, which is Warner Brother Media's. Um, we have Amazon, where if you just take those seven streams, not counting the other uh, lower streaming sites, you're paying an average of $200
and
more
no
than the
one's gonna do
cable.
that though. No one's gonna do that. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So this is basically a acquisition. Who has more money to outlast the other? Because what's going to eventually happen is either they're going to group together and bypass the cable company and actually make their own streaming hub, like anywhere movies anywhere, where you can pay a monthly due and everybody shares in the profit, or you're going to see those companies start buying all the failing ones out. to
Mhm.
get their contents on their streams.
Well,
So,
I get your point. It is a fair point. There's a lot of competition for them now. So
mhm,
therefore, they need to do what you do when you have competition, because competition is a good thing. You need to improve. And one of the things that's hurting Netflix quite a bit is they used to have quite a balance. I mean, you could find the SJW woke stuff. You could find stuff for older people. You could find all kind of stuff. It was balanced, and that's fine. There's no problem with that. But these days, all we're getting really is like 80, 90% wokeness from them. And that's what's killing them. Because honestly, I would have killed my Netflix account long ago if it weren't for the fact that my kids use it to watch anime, right?
mhm.
This is a problem. And with this $2 billion, I do hope that they kind of focus themselves and start making some stuff that isn't completely woke. Here's a hint to you. Every show doesn't need to be have a female lead. Every show doesn't need that. Every show doesn't need to have one of every color. Every show doesn't need to make sure it has its representation. Netflix, right? And this is what is killing them, because I hardly can find anything on Netflix to watch. Occasionally, but it's just more crap. And of course, it's poorly acted and poorly done. Same thing with the CW. It's pretty poor level of, entertainment. I mean, let's be better, because they could, right? But they're too focused on the same thing that so many other people are, the wokeness. And you can have some of it. It's no problem with some of it, but you shouldn't have all of it like this. And that's what's killing them. And if they don't fix it, they're going to go under. They're going to fall to all those things that Dinale just mentioned. But anyway, I do see that Hellrod is in here. Nice to see you, dude. We have March Hare as well. Hello, hello. And we still have John Diller going on about something. But it's
You know what? You know what I want to know is
uh
why would your kids need Netflix to see anime? Couldn't they just open the window to the backyard and see anime? Like you're in Japan for crying out
George,
loud.
George. All right, moving on. Now this is cool news. Go ahead, dude.
All right. So this is from Cosmic Book News. Black Adam Films Summer 2020 confirms Dwayne Johnson is going to continue playing as the lead role of Black Adam.
Well, begin playing. We haven't seen him yet. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I think it's all. He's perfect for Black Adam, dude. Perfect. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Now the Shazam movie, I mean, at best was watchable. It wasn't a great flick, and that was because they were the same kind of problem that Warner Brothers has all the time. They're just too eager to get it all done right now. See, Marvel took their time to build up their universe, and DC waited too long, and now they're just quick, quick, quick. Let's do it all now. And that's what the problem with Shazam movie was. It should have been an origin movie. They should have gave us a lot more of him learning his abilities, and some little story. They shouldn't have tried to throw in the Marvel family and all that stuff. Just stuff it on top of you. But Dwayne Johnson will definitely pull people into the seats because he's awesome, and he's perfect for Black Adam in so many ways. So I'm excited about it. How about you, George? Anything positive to say today? Anything? Anything at all?
Yeah, yeah. Dwayne Johnson is a great actor, and he personifies the physical embodiment of Black Adam.
Yeah,
It's he is um, the perfect role for Black Adam, as Christopher Reeve was the perfect role for Superman.
he was. He was. Yeah.
My only concern with it is that Dwayne Johnson might make it too sympathetic for Black Adam, and he's supposed to be a villain.
Yeah.
For
No.
That's interesting
y-
because that could be an actual problem, meaning that Black Adam would surpass um, Shazam, or sorry, the real Captain Marvel, in terms of popularity and box office. That Captain Marvel actually becomes a secondary character.
Um,
hmm
but that, of course, that could be a problem because he's much more popular. And Hellrod, I think you're having some kind of problem in your brain, dude, because you said Rogue One sucks, but yet Shazam was great. Are you just being obstinate? Maybe that's what he's doing. No, that's a fair point, George. Do keep in mind, however, Black Adam is most certainly a sympathetic villain, without question. He's very similar to what's not Captain Cold. what's the ice villain guy
Mr.
in
Free.
Mr. Freeze? It's a very similar storyline actually. So he is sympathetic, and that's part of his story. But I get your point. I get it. It's potentially a problem, and I don't know who at Cosmic Book News decided to put this little piece of art together, but you do realize you basically cut off Adam's arm and threw it on the other side here. It's very disconcerting. It's very disconcerting. But anyway, that's cool news. Now, this is an interesting little thing, and it wasn't really originally on the docket, but I threw it up because we've been talking about this news, and it brings up an important point, I think. But Denali, go ahead and cover this if you would.
All right, so from Valiant to Comic Craze, Star Trek Discovery fans threaten Anas uh,
Ob-
Alden life.
Obdin's life, yeah. Um,
Alden's life, yeah.
Yeah. Now, basically, what we know that he's been this is the guy that created. He had his own video game, and it's obvious that Star Trek stole like whole cloth. They stole it and used it for their STD thing here, and of course the lawyers have beaten him down, and he lost his case, which is shocking to me. But you had this GoFundMe came up and got him 20 grand so that he could appeal. And people have basically gotten very upset that he did that, and they're saying all kind of mean things, and it escalated to the point that people are actually threatening his life over a lawsuit. But I think this article is a really good demonstration of the absurdity of modern culture, where people are just take everything way beyond the point that they should. And this isn't a political point. This is everybody, because we've already established in this past year of us doing the show, we've established very clearly that SJWs are not all lefties. It's a mindset. It's not a political thing. And these people are they hide behind the little Twitter feeds, and they have no consequences for the things they do or say, and they think they're a big man. It's like that little dude running around with a gun doing drive-by shooting. It's the same type of mentality, and it's nonsense. There's no need for you to take it to that level. There's no need at all. Right. And of course, it also brings up another aspect of here, because we are talking about STDs. I thought we'd take a little look into the 20 hottest actors of Hollywood that have STDs. hmm so let's see here. We have Anna Heshi. I don't know who she is, but she's kind of attractive. She has herpes. Oh, no. We have Derek Jeter. No, no, Derek. He has herpes too. Jessica Alba. Okay, I'm going to have to take a minute. That's Jessica. You're so innocent and pure. Why do you have herpes? Goodness gracious. Moving along, Paris Hilton. I think she has triple herpes. Let's see here. Britney Spears. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, let's continue. There's 20 of them. Let's check it out. Let's see who else has it here. Oh, no. The Beckman? No way. No. Robin Williams. Uh-oh. He's already dead, though. That didn't kill him, though. He had some disease in his brain. It sucked. Janet Jackson. No way. Really? Does her brother have it, too? Oh, sorry. I didn't say that. Let's see. Michael Vick. Sorry. It's not a laughing matter. Lindsay Lohan, dude, she's probably just riddled with disease. I don't even. Oh, Liza, really? Oh, come on, Liza. Tommy Lee. Well, that makes a lot of sense actually. I don't even know who you are, dude. Billy. Oh no, Billy. God. Let's look
All
out
the
loud.
groupies.
Yeah, right.
All the
Magic
groupies.
Johnson, he has the STD, the ultimate STD actually.
hmm
I don't even know who you are. Know who Greg Louganis, oh, a gay man with STDs? No, say it isn't so. It's not possible. Tommy, God, Tommy, really? Oh no. David, oh, now that right there that's the end of it. I don't have to go any further. David Hasselhoff, the man, he has herpes. Goodness gracious. But of course, I brought this up. I'm joking in a way, but I brought this up because we always make the joke about STD here with this such as bad naming of a show. But it also goes into a lot of the other things we've talked about here over our series of videos we've done. There seems to be a lot of real weirdness in Hollywood, and it's almost as if that eyes wide shut thing is real. Because there are many, many more, actually. I just picked that article just out of many. There's a lot of people in Hollywood that have sexually transmitted diseases. And why is that? I don't know anyone around me at all that has sexual diseases. You guys, you got
That's
any
that's because they're all
STD people around you guys? Any at all?
that's because they're all trying to screw each other.
Sounds like it. Yeah, sounds
Oh,
like
by
it.
the way, I just watched the trailer for the Rise of Skywalker without sound,
Hmm.
and I agree with everybody whose first reaction on the internet. What a joke! Just thought, just I'm throwing it out there.
More angst. Thank you very much, George. Now, Eric says, I like Shazam. It was very corny, but not horrible. Kind of like The Greatest American Hero, a bumbling hero. Yeah, no, the first part of the movie I thought was fun. I enjoyed it too. It was really the villains that they brought in were just throwaway and useless. And of course, the whole panic ending thing where they had, oh, let's get it, we gotta all come together. It was that kind of thing. That's a problem. The first part of the movie was fun. That's what I mean. They should have continued that path instead of just spoiling it. Rahel Rod says Rock has been a good guy so long people will be shocked to see him as a bad guy. Maybe. Eric says that exactly. Internet tough guys. If any of them, tried that stuff in real life, they would get beat down. Yeah, well, that's the point. He also continues says Anna Heshi used to be Ellen's girlfriend. Uh oh. Okay. All
Oh
right.
boy.
What? Why, Jessica? No, you're right. That shocked me too, dude. Jessica Alba, she has such pure girl type of image, but she's not. She's not. She's a hottie though. Talk about drop dead hottie. Jessica Alba. I don't name someone hotter. I dare you. Yeah, Jessica's awesome. But she's a herpes ridden person. And that's forever. Nixie says this is what fan speak has come to, laughing at pop celebrities or herpes. Yes, Nick, that is exactly what we've come to. Thank you. Not Michael Knight. See, you got pulled into it too. March here says that's great, Nick. Eric says, hey, St. Louis is the number one city in the U.S. for STDs. Wait. That might not be a good thing. I don't think so. Rod says too. Not the Hoff. It only takes one casting director to make an STD epidemic in Hollywood. It seems so, dude. It seems so. I think it's kind of funny. Well, anyway, we're coming to the end of the show, but to end the show today, guys, what I want to do is I want to watch a trailer. Now, we know that these guys keep copywriting us every time we watch a trailer, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try. I'm just going to pause it a couple of times and because I want to see this one with you guys. So,
You're gonna have to pause it so many times.
yeah, I guess,
Every
but
every 8 seconds.
I can't do that, dude. I can't do that. All right, hold on. Here we go. Ooh, the official trailer for the trailer. We saw it. Okay, here we go.
And initiate
It's
sequence.
done.
It's music. Maybe I should pause. Nah, I don't want to do that either.
Gina, I'm home.
Memories are made of.
It's a good song, but I should pause. I should kill the music.
Hmm.
Now, basically, this trailer here, you should go check it out yourself. This is Bloodshot, and of course, Bloodshot is from Valiant Comics, and their reboot they did some years back, I think, was pretty nice. They kind of spoiled what they had initially launched with, but that's another conversation. But Bloodshot, of course, is one of their popular books. It's a fun character. He's a nanite cyborg type of thing. And this whole trailer is basically talking about him being mind controlled by these people, and they keep adjusting his memories so that he will go after the person who murdered his woman here, but they keep changing the face of the person who murdered it so he can use him as an assassin. There you go, plot done in a square box. But you have to go watch it yourself because we can't do it. They're going to copyright strike us. But it looks really fun, dude. And I mean, I can't think. Vin Diesel's perfect for this character, dude. It's perfect. And they don't have him in white as they should have, but I mean, I get that. They have the glowing in the chest to represent the red spot, but I think it looks really good, dude. You guys check this out? No?
Mm, I'll wait.
Yeah, you guys should definitely check out this trailer. It looks good, man. I'm looking forward to it. Ooh, watch this, watch this, watch this. Here we go. Oh, they keep changing the face that he kills people. The plot's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's an action flick, but and Vin Diesel does action really well, don't you think, George?
Oh yes, absolutely. He and Dwayne Johnson are on par with no one.
Okay, but they are kind of our current action fellas, I'd say. But
Which is kind of funny that neither of them can stand each other.
oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome if these two actors, Dwayne Johnson and Vin Diesel, actually played Terminators.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Because he is kind of playing a Terminator of sorts, right? But anyway, I just wanted to. I don't want to get into that video, but I just wanted to kind of take a look at it, and you guys should really go check it out. It looks fun, man. It's it's been a while since we've seen a trailer. I've seen a trailer that was like, whoa, 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 I want to see that movie. But that one, I'm definitely interested in. I really wish we could just play trailers. I don't get it, man. Why would you put out a commercial and then give someone a hard time for showing your commercial? It doesn't make sense. Whatever. Eric Hawkins says Selma Hayek is hotter. All right. She might be sexier, but I don't know if she's hotter. Hmm. Interesting, Eric, but I'm not going to argue with it. Anyway, guys, it's been fun sitting here and going over the news today. We had some interesting stuff. George was extra spicy today. We're going to have to give him some Valium and try to deal with that. And of course, Nick tells us that Alan Moore has cursed fanspeak. Oh well. I feel like somebody now, Nick. But other than that, George, would you like to give some closing comments before I get out of here?
Yes, always be good to each other, and remember, you're listening to Fan Speak because we are the fans, and you are the fans for listening to us.
It doesn't make any sense at all, George.
I'm trying
But
to do my best to Wolf, man. Come on.
is that what that was? Okay. All right. Well, you have to go earn your Mason ring, and then you can be DeWolf. Okay. All right. Anyway, so thank you guys, and I'm going to let Dinale take us out of here, man.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us for Fan Speak. Join us tomorrow for Bugsberry Basement, where they're going to continue the Moonshine Isle campaign at 8 p.m. Eastern. Follow them. Check us out on our Facebook page for any upcoming news. Join us in that community. If you want to be on the show, just tweet us out or go to our Facebook page and say, I want to be on the show, and we will put you on the show. Check out our shows in the future week. It's going to be a whole lot of fun, and that'll be it for tonight. But as always, your perception shapes your reality, so always make it a good one.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Later, guys.
Aloha.